Welcome back, Embers, or if you're new here, welcome to the Campfire Crew. My name is Stella, my pronouns are they, them, and today we have another update for No Pan Left Behind. I have no idea what that noise was if you heard it. Anyway, so far in the No Pan Left Behind, these are all of my palettes. These three I have already used as of last month, and of these palettes left, I have used all of these. So it's a really exciting update as per usual. I'm very excited about this. So let's get right on into it. Like I said, I haven't used this palette, which is my Sephora Wishing You palette. I have 3 shades in this left to use. So we're almost done, but it's all kind of dark shades. I could have used it today, but I did not, though we are into the next month, so it wouldn't have counted anyway. So let's talk about my Complex Culture Squad. I had used 3 of these shades last month, these 3 here, and I have finished this shade in my No Pan Left Behind, which means this whole palette is rolled out, which takes us now to 4 rolled out palettes. That one's an easy one though, it's a quad. Let's talk about my Divina singles. So this is what this palette looks like right now. Of these singles, last month I used 2 shades, and that is these 2 blues I used last month. I'm surprised I didn't use these in January, but you know how it, oh my god, the sun got really bright. It's this, the sun should be setting soon, and yet it is in my face. I'm just gonna, there we go. Okay, now that the sun's not blinding me. So yeah, I'm really surprised I didn't use these blues in January, but I did use them last month. And before then, I have these 2 used, these 3 used, and this one used. So those and that are done, so I just have these ones left, just those 4. So these are from the original palette, these reds and this purple, and then this one is from my the Big Cheese palette. I don't know why I had to hold this to know what it was called, but from my Big Cheese palette. Yeah, then let's talk about the big boy, and that is my Carnival 3 palette. So this is a 40 pan palette. I used a lot of these shades last month. Give me a second to read through these. So this month in this palette, we have used 11 new shades. I've used more than that, but I've used 11 shades that I haven't used in this project so far. So let's go over those. This is my big boy palette. That's what that looks like. As you can see, it's all panned if you want to watch that. I have updates on my Pan That palette. This was my Pan That palette. That's why it's all panned. Anyway, so for the first time last month, I used this shade, the Deep, probably with those blues I'd imagine from the last palette. I used this shade, Reef. I used Lagoon. I used Clay. I used Cocoa, Ginger, Yellow, Coral, Blaze, Chili Pepper. And that's all the shades that I used for the first time this month. I don't have that many shades left in this palette, so I still have Khaki left to use. I have, from my first page, I think that's it. Yeah, just Khaki. And then when we go on to my second page, I haven't used JJ. Bloom is this one I haven't used. Pink Lily, Blue Moon, Magenta, Grape, or Amethyst. So mostly we are concentrated in these purpley pinks over here. A lot of these are very similar, so I'm going to be doing a lot of purpley pink looks with this palette soon, very soon. So yeah, we're working our way through this. 11 new shades in this palette is great. So we just have a couple more left. I'm excited about that. I did not count how many. I will count it at the end, don't worry. And one more palette to talk about. We have this palette, which is my Def Leppard palette. So last month I said I had started using this palette, and it was my goal to finish No Pan Left Behind on this. So let's go over it. Sea of Love I used last month for the first time. I used all of these purples and this shade Cry. I still haven't taken out Forever Young, even though I have decided to declutter this shade. Foolin' I used in March. Hallucinate I used for the first time in March. I used Immortal and Energized last month for the first time. These 3 shades I used again in March, same with Excitable, and then I used Rocket for the first time last month. So we are now done No Pan Left Behind for this palette, which means that we have 2 new palettes rolling out of this project, which is really exciting, bringing up the total palettes rolled out of this project to 5. These 5 here have rolled out officially, and also meaning that I only have 3 shades or 3 palettes left. So this palette is just because, actually all of these palettes, let's talk about it. So this palette, the only shades I have left is this neutral shade and then these 2 purpley shades, and those are shades that I traditionally use near November, though I will have to be using them soon because, as you can tell, there's not that many shades I have to use left. I have these 2 reds, this purpley shade, and this shade, which this shade not so much, but these are definitely more end of the year shades for me. So definitely something that normally I would use in November specifically. I just love this kind of like, the look I have now is a typical November me kind of look. I like to do purpley red specifically in November. And then in this palette, again, we have a lot of these purpley pinks. I don't think that it's that I don't like these shades. I think it's just that for me, specific shades are linked to specific months or seasons. So January, winter, I tend to do the blues more, which I did a lot of. March, I use a lot of greens. February, I'm just using a lot of pinks and light purples. Once we get past March, we get into the more spring season in Canada. So I tend to use spring colors, and then I don't use these kind of deeper purpley pinks until either some of these like brighter pinks I'll use in the summer, which we haven't gotten to yet. It's still spring here. And then these kind of shades and the ones I've shown you in these palettes are definitely more strictly like October, November shades for me. Like once it starts to get dark and spooky and vampy again, like January is all blue. And then once we get into in the later half of the year, I tend to go into this kind of color family, a little bit red, purples, grungy, vampy looks. So I think all the shades I have left for the most part are shades that make total sense that I haven't used yet. So I'm gonna have to get on some vampy looks really soon. Now let me check how many shades I have left to use in this No Pan Left Behind, because I don't think it's that many. So of the 9 shades that I was supposed to use every month, I've actually used 17 of them. This is pretty average for me. If you've seen these videos before, you'll know that I usually smash this out of the park. And then what we have left, 15 shades. So what we have left to do in this project is 15 shades. So if I do as well as I did this month, or even a little less well, I will have finished this project by next month. That's not even 6 months into the year, which is good news for me. It definitely lets me know that I have a good size eyeshadow collection for me. I don't want to get to the point personally that I have so many eyeshadows that it's a struggle to No Pan Left Behind them. I prefer having enough shades that I can use all of the shades pretty easily within my collection. And also that I can use a lot of these shades many times throughout the year. If I could do these all of the shades like 5 times in a year, that'd be great. I don't know if I'm gonna do that. But it's nice to know that my collection is at a reasonable size, and I think that's what this project has taught me, that my collection is a good size. So yeah, I'm really excited to say there's only 15 shades left of this project. I am going to definitely focus on those last 15 shades, get them out before next month, and then we will be done this project, which is really great and also kind of terrifying. Of course, if you've been on my channel, you might know that I also have a Project 10 Uses. I'm not going to add another project into my rotation until I'm done Project 10 Uses on all of my palettes, which you can go watch those videos, link in the description if I remember to do it. Stone, remember to do that. But yeah, I'm not going to add another project till I finish project 10 uses on at least all of my palettes. That way all my usage projects will be separate from my panning projects. But yeah, I think by next month this project will be done. But also because on Friday next week I'm going to be uploading a video where I talk about my panning journal. I go through how I track all of my uses, because I do track every single, not just eyeshadow, but every makeup product in my whole collection. So I'll show you how I do that with this little guy. And for my other projects, I hope you stay tuned, subscribe, like the video, and I will see you later. Bye guys. Bye.